Pioneer viewers, how are you doing? I hope you are healthy and happy. As the Pioneer team, we continue to share the Russia-Ukraine war and related developments with you. We will soon share with you a very interesting developments from behind the front line. And as we shared with you many times in our previous reports, intelligence organizations are of a great importance in many wars, including the Russian-Ukrainian war. And a strong intelligence organization means a strong defense. If a country's intelligence is strong, its defense starts even before the war phase. And this creates a great advantage. As it is known, we often share with you developments related to the Russian intelligence in recent days. And the Russian intelligence, which has drawn a really unsuccessful profile, has not been able to carry out any of the planned operations since the beginning of the war. They made mistakes in many of them and were exposed. So Ukrainian intelligence, which worked in the partnership with the Ukrainian armed forces and the Ukrainian armed forces, wrote an epic. While all propaganda efforts about the Russian intelligence failed, it turned out that the real intelligence success belonged to Ukraine. In recent days, Ukrainian intelligence officers carried out an incredible operation and destroyed Russian agents who were preparing to assassinate Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. So, what are the details of this operation? Let's take a look together. As the Pioneer team, we continue to bring you developments regarding the Russia-Ukraine war. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so as not to miss our daily reports and explanations. You know that I also read all of your comments on our videos, so please continue to share your ideas about our content in the comments. And tell us that what content you would like to see on the Pioneer channel. Let's start if you're ready, because the Pioneer is reporting. So the war between Russia and Ukraine continues in full force, and the front line is very active. Despite all this activity, the Russian armed forces are unable to achieve anything other than capturing empty lands. Of course, it is normal for the Russian armed forces to make gains during such intensive attacks. However, these gains don't carry any tactical value. Therefore, these achievements are seen only as a bubble. On the other hand, the command and control of the Ukrainian armed forces continues quite successfully. There are some problems only in the withdrawal areas on the Donetsk front line. Apart from all this, Ukraine is still resisting strongly. So this resistance of the Ukraine is angering Vladimir Putin, and the most of it. So the Russian leader Vladimir Putin has pinned all his hopes and dreams on this war. And if he fails in this war, all his ambitions will be destroyed. His dreams of building the Russian Empire and becoming the Russian Tsar again will be shattered. Ukraine is the biggest obstacle in front of Putin. Unless he overcomes this obstacle, he has no chance of achieving any success. So Ukraine's resistance is multi-layered. Both the Ukrainian army and the Ukrainian state and the Ukrainian people, of course, there is also the leader of the resistance, Volodymyr Zelensky, who brings these elements together and holds them together. So the presence of this strong leader, who has been humiliated many times by the Russian leader Vladimir Putin, but still keeps the Ukrainian resistance alive, is the biggest obstacle for Putin. For this reason, there is an idea that has been in the minds of the Russian ruler for a long time: eliminate Zelensky. So, as it is known, assassination is a quite ordinary process for the Russian state. We've already and repeatedly shared with you developments related to the assassinations involving senior Russian executives. So, the Russian administration does not hesitate to take responsibility for assassination. Likewise, Russian officials were among the victims of these assassinations. According to the allegations, a group of Russian agents recently set foot on Ukrainian soil disguised as aid workers, and their target was Volodymyr Zelensky, the leader of the Ukrainian resistance. But according to the information obtained from the regional sources, these Russian agents disguised as aid workers had been leading the aid activities in the region for a while and had carried out intensive researches, especially around Kiev. They had also closely witnessed the programs of the Ukrainian president in Kiev. They were preparing a plan, and they were going to assassinate Zelensky at the appropriate moment. It was planned that a Russian agent would infiltrate as a bodyguard of the Ukrainian leader, and of course, they could have succeeded if Ukrainian intelligence had not mobilized. But Ukrainian intelligence managed to catch Russian agents in a sudden raid. The statements on the subject was made on social media account of the Ukrainian intelligence. So countering intelligence was detained, and the Ukrainian intelligence units frustrated the plans of the Russian intelligence to eliminate the president of the Ukraine and other representatives of the top military and political leadership of the state. So before Easter, they were going to liquidate Krilo Budanov, the head of the main Directorate of Intelligence of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine. One of the tasks of the intelligence network which captured Russian agents was to look for people within the army who were close to president's security and who could take the head of a state hostage and then kill him. The enemy's plan was this. First, the recruited agent was supposed to observe the movements of the protected person and transmit information to the enemy. Then a missile strike was planned on the coordinates of the house where the gunmen were located. So then they would attack the people staying in the affected areas with the drones, and the Russians then planned to target them with another missile, including destroying any traces of drone use. So with the successful operations of the Ukrainian intelligence, the assassination plan of the Russian agents was foiled, and statements on the subject came from Maliuk, one of the Ukrainian intelligence leaders, and the statement in question is as follows. I personally led the operation that uncovered and eliminated the assassination plan. A limited number of people knew about our special operation, and I personally controlled its progress. The attack, which should have been an inauguration gift to Putin, was actually a failure of the Russian intelligence service. I promise that every traitor and every agent will face the same consequences. But we must remember that the enemy is strong and experienced and cannot be underestimated. We will continue to work proactively to ensure that every traitor gets justice they deserve. So it is very important that this assassination attempt by the Russian intelligence was not successful. In this way, the failure and inadequacy of the Russian intelligence has once again been revealed. And the Ukrainian intelligence, on the other hand, proved both its competence and reliability. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was initially not taken seriously by the Russian leader Vladimir Putin, but now it seems that Zelensky is a target for Putin that must be eliminated. Putin is so desperate that he's willing to let Russian agents and intelligence officers into Ukraine to assassinate Zelensky, and this clearly demonstrates how the Ukrainian leader Zelensky made the right moves during the war. So, what do you think? How do you think the failed assassination operation of the Russian intelligence officers was interpreted in the Kremlin palace? And do you find Ukrainian intelligence personnel successful? And do you think Ukrainian intelligence will be able to carry out more successful operations? And what do you think about Putin's starting to see Zelensky as a rival? Let me know in the comments, because you know that I read and I care about all of your comments.